Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Screen this to
Sir, sir, this is
okay. How the car. This is your Suniparcham voice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. ठीक अच्छी ଏବେ ଦେଖ ଏଇଟା ତୁମର B.Ed କୋର୍ସ जोटा आमे पढ़ुचे BS 143 pedagogy of mathematics. Okay, so you have your 4 blocks, so 2 blocks associated with general aspect of mathematics, and unit block 3 and 4 last two blocks is your pedagogy of teaching different school subject content pedagogy, but block 1 and block 2 is associated with general understanding of mathematics as a methods of teaching. Okay, so this is your block 1. Block 1. So this unit, this block has 4 unit. आमे ये जो यूनिट्स गुड़िक अच्छी से यूनिट्स गुड़िक टिके टिके टच करके ता विषय डिटेल्स टिके टिके कौन ब्रीफली विल डिस्कस. ओके, आउ दुटा पेपर तो ब्लॉक 3 4 तुमर कंटेंट गुड़िक अच्छी से गुड़िकर आवश्यकता एतटा नाही पढ़ाइबा ए सब जो जिनस अच्छी आमे आकु देखिबा. देखो एठी यूनिट ब्लॉक 1 रे यू हैव योर 4 यूनिट. First unit is your understanding the nature and the scope of mathematics, mathematics nature and scope. Second unit is associated with aims and objectives of teaching learning mathematics. Unit 3 is how the children learn mathematics. This unit is associated with the cognitive process of learning mathematics. And the fourth unit is your mathematics in school curriculum. Okay, so ये हला चारिटा units. ଏବେ ଦେଖ unit 1, this is nature mathematics aims objectives like this. Second unit it is second block that तमर teaching learning mathematics जो थरे की different approaches strategy of mathematics, organization of teaching learning experiences, learning resources and ICT in mathematics, assessment in mathematics and professional development of mathematics teachers. Right, ये हला block 2. block 3 रे content based methodology एठी मध्ये से content based methodology एगुड़िक तुमर normally algebra related aspect एगुड़िक तुमर geometry related content गुड़िक अच्छी statistic probability trigonometry mensuration like this. Okay, ये हला तुमर content orientations. वर्तमान एठी देखो तुमर फर्स्ट यूनिट कथा के आसी एटी अच्छी. ये भी सही यूनिट 1 2 3 कथा डिस्कशन करछि. देखो फर्स्ट यूनिट तुमरो नेचर एंड स्कोप ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स. So in this unit you will be acquainted with the key aspects of mathematics as a disciplines, right? Like your concept, your nature, your validation process of mathematics, proof, examples, conjecture, invalidity of arguments, simple fallacies, creative thinking in mathematics. So different concepts are explained in the first unit. Second unit is associated with aims and objectives. This also says something about how to write instructional objectives. Also, the Bloom's taxonomy of writing instructional objectives. Aims objectives are given in the unit. Okay, so it is a unit 1. यूनिट 1 रे देख कौन कौन अच्छी मैथमेटिक्स डिसिप्लिन ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स concept and nature of mathematics, then how knowledge in mathematics is validated and proved. Okay, आधे तुम्हारा conjecture, generalizations, different examples and counter examples, hypothesis, proof, fallacies. So different concepts are there. So these concepts are helpful in order to validate and prove different mathematical concept. Then creative thinking in mathematics. ଏଠି ଦେଖ introductions part ରେ ତୁମର ଲେଖିଛି 1.3 ଏଠି ସେ ଜିନିଷ ବୁଝେଇଛି ଆମେ ଆଗକୁ ଯିବା disciplines of mathematics concept ରେ ଆସ so in this page you have been explained with the concept of mathematics, right? So starting from the here the Babylonian, Egyptian, Greek and Chinese or Indian mathematicians have contributed remarkable to the field of mathematics, right? And we know different mathematicians like Pythagoras, Aryabhatta, Euclid, Archimedes, एमाने mathematics ର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ପ୍ରବକ୍ତା so during this 6th BC Pythagoreans bajaku Pythagoras and his followers coined the term mathematics. So it is derived from the word gentia, which means to incline to learn. So mathematics is a broad sense. Try to understand the concept of mathematics, many branches and components, right? In this view, it is the view that makes the world mathematics hard to define. Even then, we will say normally, mathematics is a science that involves dealing with number, different kinds of calculations, measurement of shape, structure, organization, interpretation of data, and establishing relationship among the variables, right? So normally when we are saying mathematics, we must deals with the various numbers. Okay, numbers mean we are deals with the numbers, different calculations, the measurement of shape, size, organizations, and interpretations of the data. And this data is actually the numerical data, right? So operation of these numbers is a process, is associated with a disciplines known as your mathematics. Okay, then so mathematics definition is here. These definitions given above enable us to conclude that mathematics is a study of pattern, is a study of number, geometrical object, data, and chance. It is a diverse disciplines that deals with data analysis, integrations of various fields of knowledge involving proofs, deductive, inductive reasoning, generalizations, give explanations of the natural phenomenon and human behaviors. Mathematics also helps to understand the world by exploring the hidden patterns in a systematic and organized manner, and it has a universal applicability, right? We have our physical environment. So all this physical environment, the object can be explained in terms of mathematics. Like when we know the different physical sciences, physics or chemistry or botany or zoology. So all the environmental environmental things, living or non-living, can be explained through science. Like suppose when we are saying the biological things, it may be includes your plant and animals that can be explained by science of biology, right? Similarly, all the physical object, physical materials, such physical phenomenon can be explained with your physics. Like this, when we observe all the physical quantities, matter, and everything, that can have certain mathematical orientations, mathematical discipline is associated with all physical quantities, right? So it is considered formally as an organized subject of study, hence it is treated as disciplines. So we call mathematics as a discipline because we consider it as a area of subject, area of study, right? Starting from the very primary level to higher levels. So mathematics we deals with the various branches. We know various branches such as arithmetic, algebra, geometry, trigonometry. We have different branches. The branches and its applications in our daily life. Okay, keeping this view, it says that mathematics has gained relevance and popularity as a useful subject. So mathematics is normally classified into two broad types, right? If you can see this diagram, you have a pure mathematics and also applied mathematics, right? Pure mathematics is the basic concept, structure, and purpose of a deeper understanding of the subject. pure deals with the basic information. Mathematics where various concepts, proof, theories, all are discussed. Okay, the theoretical, basic theoretical knowledge regarding your mathematical operations, addition, subtraction, all these are very pure. But when we apply this pure mathematics in other subject, in our other discipline, other subject, then it becomes your applied mathematics. For example, physics, in your chemistry, in your biology, right? In your statistics. Normally, we apply mathematical knowledge in other situations. In that sense, we can say it is applied science. Okay. So, for example, children study the concept of additions, which is explored while buying the food items from a grocery shop. The concept of interest is used to calculate interest and money deposited in the bank. When we are when we calculate the interest in the bank, we use mathematics. So, in that sense, we can consider mathematics is an applied mathematics. Okay, so it has two branches. ଜାଣିପାରୁଛ?
Yes, sir.
ସବୁ ସେହିସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ୍ କରିଛି। ତେଣୁ ଏଠି ସେ ବୁଝେଇଛି ଦ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଆଣ୍ଡ ନେଚର ଅଫ୍ ମାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ, କେମିତି ଆମେ ମାଥମେଟିକାଲ ନଲେଜକୁ ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛୁ, ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ୍ସ କରିକି ସେ ଦଉଛି, ରାଇଟ୍? ସେ ଦେଇଛି ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ୍ସ। ଦ ୱାନ୍ ବୟ ମେ ଆସ୍କ, ଅଙ୍କଲ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ୟୁ ପ୍ଲିଜ୍ ଗିଭ୍ ମି 1 kg of sugar? When you are saying 1 kg of sugar, then what the salesman will do? He will have a weight balance. He will compare the sugar with the weight of 1 kg, right? That comparison is also a mathematics, right? So এই সেন্সরে সে বুঝেইছি কেমতি mathematics রে यूज ଆମେ କରୁଛେ। Definitely in this example, mathematics is involved in many places. For example, for instance, a boy asked 1 kg of sugar. Mathematics is involved in it, right? The quantity 1 kg is also a mathematical terms, is a kinds of measurement. So when the salesman he makes use of the principles of balance. The principles of balance is also a part of the mathematics. So like this, in this paragraph, it is explained how mathematics is involved in each and every activities. So when we are saying nature of mathematics, it is the mathematics is the queen of all sciences, because it involves in all sciences and its presence is there in all subjects, right? Mathematics act as a basic structure of all subjects. So these views are brought in relevance of mathematics to be considered as one of the core subject in school curriculum. We know. Second aspect is mathematics is more than computations. Mathematics is not simply the computations. It may ask various questions. For example, how many apples can be filled in the square-shaped box? He may say approximately 100. So how one can say that there will be 100 apples can fit to that box, right? So one can imagine the size of one apple, the size of the box, right, and compare one apple size with the total box. He can also approximate or divides this, and approximately he can say that the approximately 100 apples can be poured in it without measurement, without calculations. He can also develop certain guess, right, certain hypothesis, right, just by comparing, understanding the shape of the box and the shape of the apple or any object. So that's why you can say mathematics is not just the computation, it also goes beyond that. Another concept is given here, the concrete to abstract is also another concept, right? That means we arrive at certain abstract concept by observing the different concrete concept. ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ the method of କ'ଣ your inductions. So method of inductions normally moves from କ'ଣ concrete examples, right, with the abstract knowledge or general solutions, right? So this is a principles of concrete ରୁ abstract, right? ମାନେ concrete examples को observe कला ପରେ finally ଗୋଟେ abstract ideas ରେ ପହଞ୍ଚୁଛେ, right? Circular concept ହଉ, parallelogram concept ହଉ, simply we can say the sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So this abstract idea can be derived by observing different concrete examples. Okay. So the concept like circle, sphere, etc. come to their mind by observing different, right? For example, these are the different shapes. Just by observing these different concrete shapes, the child can develop the idea of a circle, right? Idea of a particular shape. That means he can generalize, he can arrive at abstract ideas of a single shape, that is a general shape which is known as the circles. Okay, so this is one of the principles. And another thing is, the particular to general, particular examples to arriving at a general conclusions. We move from particular to general. General is more general, but particular is different instances. Okay, एक sense रे एटाକୁ से बुझेइछि examples देखि you can see. Suppose an individual see different closed figure having four sides. Closed figure having four sides. It may help him to conclude that all those figures have four sides and are closed. Seeing similar figure on various occasions or particular cases would help him to generalize and develop a new concept. That is, those figures have four sides and closed, such as figures are called quadrilateral. So quadrilateral is a general idea, right? General concept which is associated with the different shape having common characteristics, right? That means the concept. The concept of meaning kono. It is just a generalizing idea about a group of objects, persons, or things having certain common properties or characteristics. So this quadrilateral concept is a very generalizing concept, and that concept the child can develop by observing different concrete examples. Okay, ये गोटे concept अछि. आ गोटे nature कहूछि conceptual and procedurals. Procedural means the process by which we can arrive at a concept. That is the conceptual knowledge about the fact, about the principles, about the theories. Okay, that is the conceptual knowledge. But procedural knowledge means how you arrive at that procedural knowledge. What a minute. Hello, Guru, पढ़ौथिलो. Okay, so this is your conceptual and procedural knowledge. Concept kaile may be generalizing idea. The knowledge of an individual on different concept of mathematics is called conceptual knowledge, right? For example, concept of number kauche, arithmetic operation, shape, set, size, fraction, data, right? Egudika sabu hela gote concept. We can also say that the conceptual knowledge is nothing but understanding of the various concepts like your definitions or rules or theory, etc. When students understand a concept in a meaningful way, they are more likely to able to correctly apply this knowledge in other situations. Okay. The knowledge of procedure followed in solving mathematical problem is called procedure knowledge. When we are solving any problem, right, or problem solving, we use the various steps, okay, various rules or different formula. So this process is known as procedural. So mathematics ର ଗୋଟେ characteristics ଗୋଟେ nature को आमे conceptual and procedural knowledge बोले कहूचे. ए सब दिन से थरे explain है कि अच्छी. Okay. Then 1.4 says the how knowledge of mathematics is validate or proved. आमे केमती mathematical knowledge को prove करूचे, केमती validate करूचे, right? How we can validate the concept of mathematics? Normally, we use inductive process, deductive process, or reasoning process, right? Children, at the dekho. So, it is learning mathematics is both comprehending the facts, the theories, rules like this, which is much broader. As a teacher, one should make his students understand that mathematics has various applications in daily life. Similarly, it is the duty of teacher to convince students mathematics not the subject to be learned by rote memory, rather they should learn it by proper understanding. Okay. So to arrive at a solutions, either we adopt the inductive or deductive reasonings. Okay. Dita method ase. Gote ame कहूचे कोन ना inductive आ गोटे हला deductive logic. So how we can validate? How we can validate that sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degree? Right? We can find, we can calculate or measure the different angles, and we can solve, we can add it, and we found 180 degree in different cases. So in that deductive process, we can arrive at a conclusion that the sum of three angles is 180 degree. This knowledge can also applied in other situations in order to validate this knowledge. That's why in mathematics you have your inductive logic and deductive logic or reasoning. While reasoning, children are organized data, evaluating the situation, formulate relations, solve problem, identifying situations that have practical applications. So, knowing or unknowingly, children may use such situations and through such stage in solving the problems. So, normally we validate mathematical proof by applying it or by using it in different situations. Okay, ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ ସେ ତ ବୁଝେଇଛି ଯେ କେମିତି ଏ ଆଙ୍ଗେଲ ବାଇସେକ୍ଟ ହେଲେ ଏ ସାଇଡ ସମାନ ରହୁଛି ବା ଏ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ଦେଇଛି ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଦିଟା ଏ ବି ଏ ସି ନେଇଛି ତାକୁ କେମିତି ବାଇସେକ୍ଟ କରିକି ଦିଟା ଆଙ୍ଗେଲକୁ ସେମ୍ ବୋଲି ଆମେ ପ୍ରୁଭ୍ କରୁଛେ ରାଇଟ୍। ତେଣୁ ସେ ନର୍ମାଲି ବୁଝେଇଛି ଯେ ଡିଡକ୍ଟିଭ ୱେଜରେ ହଉ ଆନାଲିଟିକାଲ ୱେଜରେ ହଉ ବା ସିନ୍ଥେଟିକ୍ ୱେଜରେ ହଉ ରାଇଟ୍ we can conduct various activities. Okay, we can conduct various activity, practical activity in order to validate the truth, right? If two sides are intersect each other, then the opposite angles are equal. This is a statement. This statement can be validated through measurement, through drawing, right? Through conducting different activities. So like this different concept can be explained or proved like this. Technically, we name these processes as generalization, conjecture, counterexamples, and hypothesis and proof. Okay, ତେଣୁ ଏଠି different concepts ସବୁ ଦେଇଛି ସେ conceptର explanation ସେଠି ଆରାମ ସେ ତୁମକୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ page story କରିକି ଲେଖିଛି ওটা imagine a 14 years old boy walking across the street. Every possible the possibility is there for him to see different kinds of shop. It may be grocery shop, may be vegetable shop, may be meat shop, like on. If the boy walk around to 1 kilometer and see that most of the shops are selling grocery items, then there is a very possibility to conclude that market sells only grocery items, right? Then first januchi se grocery items. So in this way, a kind of generalizations he may make. But gradual process ତା ଭିତରେ ପୁଣି ସେଠୁ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି ନା ପୁଣି କ୍ଲାସିଫିକେସନ କରିକି ଗ୍ରାଜୁଆଲ ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ଆସୁଛି କଞ୍ଜେକ୍ଚର ଗୋଟେ ଟର୍ମ ଆସୁଛି ତାପରେ କିଛି ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ୍ସ ଆସିବ ତାକୁ ଭ୍ୟାଲିଡେଟ୍ ତାକୁ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଡିକ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କିଛି କାଉଣ୍ଟର ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ୍ସକୁ ଆଣିବ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବ କିଛି କିଛି ସ୍ପେଶାଲ କେସ୍ ଆସିବ ଯୋଉଠିକି ସେ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପଲ ସେଠି ସୁଇଟେବୁଲ ହଉନି ରାଇଟ୍। ଏମିତି ଅନେକ ସେନ୍ସରେ ସେ ସବୁତକ ପଏଣ୍ଟସ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ସେ ବୁଝେଇଛି ଏଠି ଏ ପାରାଗ୍ରାଫରୁ ତୁମେ ପାଇଯାଇପାରିବ। In such cases, the child fails to generalize whether the market is a grocery market or a bakery market. କାରଣ ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗ୍ରୋସରୀ ବୋଲି ଆଇଡିଆ ଆସିଲା ପଛରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖିଲା ସେଠି ବେକରୀ କିଛି ଅଛି ତେଣୁ ସେ କନଫ୍ୟୁଜନ ହେଲା ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଏଟା କ'ଣ or the combination of both. In mathematical reasoning, such situation is treated as a special case. Sometimes the theory and generalization that we arrive at may not fit to the special case. As discussed in the above paragraph, at times we get confused in judging about the market is a grocery market or something else. Okay, especially the shop that sells both grocery and vegetable. Even then, we generalize that the market is a grocery market. In mathematics, it is called hypothesis. Hypothesis is just a possibility, a possible conjecture, a possible solutions to the problems. We hypothesize that the market is a grocery market. The hypothesis remain hypothesis until we prove a convincing argument. जब तुम्हें कहूँचो this market is a grocery market, this is a hypothesis, but that hypothesis can be proved or disproved just by finding, by searching, right? Whether the market is fully grocery or not. Okay, so the hypothesis remain hypothesis until we provide a convincing argument or explanations, which we will call the proof in mathematics to justify or reject it, right? So for example, we have certain hypothesis, then in order to select, reject or accept the hypothesis, we need different proofs. We have to check each statement, then we can find at the conclusions, right? So in this way, he can explain the examples or different counter examples or that certain special cases and certain hypotheses, right? So by using all these mental process, just by assuming something, then verifying something, then concluding something, so through this process we can validate certain aspects, certain of mathematical concept. So like this, you have the number of other concept. डिफरेंट एग्जांपल्स से बुझेछि केमती पिला का में कंजक्चर रो मीनिंग कोन हां टीचर केमती एक्सप्लेन करके बुझौचंती नंबर सिस्टम और बेस्ट एग्जांपल्स देकेटी देछि एठी तुम टेके ताको जज करिवो राइट केमती प्रोसेस रा में पिला को कांसेप्ट को एठी डिस्कशंस करूचे ओके कंजक्चर कोन एट सब डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट उड कठी देछि रेशनल नंबर करके जे बुझेछि ए सब दिन से पाइबो आधरे तुमर काम होची ए बही बहुत बड़ कथा लिखिछि किंतु यू हैव टू पुट योर टाइम गिव टाइम टू लर्न each and every line to grasp the general idea about the book okay सुनि परछो समझते
Yes, sir.
ठीक है जस्ट आइडिया नियो बहुत पाठ आधरे मु खाली सब थु टिके टच करके चेष्टा को जानिया पई तापर गोटे कॉन्सेप्ट आसे कोन ना जनरलाइजेशंस हैला रे जनरलाइजेशन माने कोन जनरलाइजेशन माने गोटे डिफरेंट पिक्चर हो डिफरेंट इंस्टेंसेस हो ताको ऑब्जर्व कला परे गोटे कॉमन कंक्लूजन रे अराइव करिया को कहा जाय जनरलाइजेशंस राइट जनरलाइजेशन मींस अराइविंग एट ए कॉमन पॉइंट just by observing the situation that is known as generalizations. Let us see how Mrs. Menesi, a mathematical teacher of 9th standard, made her student develop generalization. देखो केमती generalization develop करछि है she was teaching the concept of circles एटी सर्कल देखो ये गोटा चित्र ये गोटा चित्र ये गोटा चित्र ये गोटा चित्र एको सब तक ऑब्जर्व कले नै कि ऑब्जर्व कले विभिन्न ए गोटे का सर्कमफरेंस पाउचे एटा देखो दीटा डायगोनल पाउचे दे मीट एट ए पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट एमती अनेक डायगोनल टानले मध्य समस्त गोटे पॉइंट रे जाउछंती तेनु से जानले सर्कल लो गोटे सेंटर अछि तार गोटे डायमीटर अछि गोटे सर्कमफरेंस अछि राइट ए सब दिन से गुडको ऑब्जर्वेशन करके देखो पिक्चर रे लिखिछि आफ्टर 10 minutes teacher asked the children to present their observation what they have observed okay let us analyze the observations of a few groups among the 10 groups the observation of the group 3 and 8 are given below से देख ऑब्जर्व कौन कले all are circles ये कले सर्कल्स इज मेड ऑफ पॉइंट्स माने कौन सब बाहर चंद एक्सप्लोर करचन जा कुछ देयर आर सॉलिड सर्कल्स एंड एम्प्टी सर्कल्स ऑब्जर्व दिस इज सॉलिड दिस इज एम्प्टी सर्कल्स द डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द सेंटर ऑफ द सर्कल्स टू द बाउंड्री आर इक्वल एट ऑल पॉइंट्स ए जो पॉइंट उड़क ए लाइन उड़क सब तक इक्वल फ्रॉम द सेंटर टू द periphery line okay circle has always a central point the circle can be divided into two half circles ताको divide कले दुटा half circle हे परछि in a circle we can draw the lines that touches the 2 points on the circle has a definite shape in solid circle there will be two faces ala circles can have many diameters so you observe that these are the different generalizations different conclusions that they have observed from the above situations so generalization means a common conclusions आसी पारे तो सेही एठी कंक्लूडिंग से देछि जे केमते टीचर एक्सप्लेन करछन टुडे वी स्टडीड अबाउट द डिफरेंट प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ ए सर्कल्स वी वुड रिस्टेट द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ द सर्कल इन दिस वे देखो केते दिन से बाहर छी a circle is defined as a collection of all points in a place that are at a fixed distance from a fixed point in the same plane the fixed point is known as your center of the circle in every circle fixed distance is called its radius the distance from the center to all points is known are equal right and the circle has a diameter so a jo conclusion derive hechi after kono observations of different situation this is known as the process of generalization so generalization is the process of arriving at a conclusions by observing different situations okay तापर एठी तुमर देछि काउंटर एग्जांपल्स कोन एवं स्पेशल केस कोन जो उडका आगुर पढिचे से सब से दिन से उडका एठी देछि एग्जांपल्स माध्यम रे से बुझेछि तुमे तक पढले जानिबो काउंटर एग्जांपल्स कोन एवं डिफरेंट स्पेशल केस कोन एठी फॉलोइंग पैराग्राफ रे सेठी बुझेछि इन द फॉलोइंग पैराग्राफ्स वी आर गोइंग टू ऑब्जर्व द क्लासरूम इंटरैक्शंस इन दिस classroom dialogue the teacher Mr. Paul is helping his children to develop the concept of counter examples through small examples okay so examples so counter examples कोन देछि एको तमे कन्वर्सेशन को टिके पढिले तमे जानि परिबो जे केमती से एक्सप्लेन करछन्ती काउंटर एग्जांपल्स कोन नॉर्मल एग्जांपल्स जे काउंटर करछि extra cases आसुची अलगा cases आसुची ताको हमें कहउची counter examples. From the above interaction shows that there are situations देखो there are situations in which we may make mistakes in forming generalization normally करू किंतु ता पई किछि conditions रे जोटी generalization failure हुए and it is rectified later at a later stage. Counter examples is one of these means that help the children to disprove the statement. जोटा special case या counter example पूछे. In the above example, square is the special case that acted as a counter example to the above disproved statement that all rectangles have two lines of symmetry. एटा गोटे statement अछि किंतु एटा सब जगह रे हउ नाही, right? All rectangles have two lines of symmetry जो कथा कहूची किंतु square case रे सेटा validate होउनी. So at a later stage it is modified as all rectangles देखो all rectangle except square have two lines of symmetry नहीं कि तो प्रथम कौन जेना काउंटर एग्जांपल्स गोटे जनरल कंक्लूजन्स को आमे काढू हैला ए जनरल कंक्लूजन को डिस्प्रूव करिया पय बेले बेले किछि एग्जांपल्स आसे तापर आमे जनरलाइजेशन करू विथ सर्टेन एक्सेप्शन राइट ए सेंस रे बेले बेले आसे ए दिनसे सत्य किंतु ए केस को छाडी की ए भलिया दिन से तो आसे हमर काउंटर एग्जांपल्स करके हम ताको ये करू न कि तनो मैथमेटिक्स को प्रूव कला को ए भलिया हमर एग्जांपल्स आसे हाइपोथेसिस आसे प्रूफ आसे एटी हाइपोथेसिस एंड प्रूफ विषय केमती देछि ए जगह रे लिखैछि hypothesis usually used to refer to a generalizations that is still a conjecture माने accepted truth which still has to be either proved or disproved right conjecture means what assumptions hypothesis माने हो गोटे conjunction assumptions and it stand true when there is no counter examples right which still to be either proved or proved to be true or not true right तेणु फल्स हो पारे बा ट्रू हो पारे कौन बाय मीन्स ऑफ ए काउंटर एग्जांपल सबतक थ्योरी सैया थ्योरी को आम एक्सेप्ट करिया जे पर्यंत कोनोसी डिसअप्रूव न आसी कोनोसी काउंटर थ्योरी न आसी कोनोसी प्रकार कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन न आसी जो दिन कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन आसीबो दैट थ्योरी कैन बी डिस्प्रूव राइट सो इन मैथमेटिक्स नॉर्मली वी यूज दिस हाइपोथेसिस एंड प्रूफ ओके तेणु एठी से एग्जांपल्स देखैछि केमिति आमे कोन प्रूफ करके लास्ट को गोटे कंक्लूजन बाहर ओके ऐसे गुड़ देछि वेरी डिटेल्स देछि तुम ताको पढ़िले तुमे किछि जिंस पाई परिबो एटी गोटे एग्जांपल्स रे मध्य बुझे कि देछि इन दिस एग्जांपल्स पर्टिकुलर स्टूडेंट स्टेट द हाइपोथेसिस performed a logical step and succeeded in proving the statement the sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree hela this is called angle sum property of a quadrilateral. So you may also give problems for which students may develop hypothesis and make effort to prove it. तेणु यदि तुम्हें कहूछ जे तीनटा चारटा साइड्स चारटा एंगल्स मिसले 180 डिग्री then this hypothesis this idea can be proved okay in different ways रे से एटा एक्सप्लेन करके देखै छी जे को जगह रे एटा ट्रू होउची एवं को जगह रे फॉल्स होउची ओके बट से बुझै छी ए होच कथा ए सब कांसेप्ट गुडी मैथमेटिक्स रे अछि गोटे फैलासी गोटे कॉन्सेप्ट अछि जोटी कि गोटे प्रकार कोन कॉन्ट्राडिक्शंस बेले बेले गोटे गोटे मैथमेटिकल प्रूफ्स हमें करू किंतु देखला को तार मिस्टेक्स आसे ताको फैलासी बोली कहा जाय fallacy is incorrect or misleading notions or opinion based on inaccurate fact or invalid reasoning we can say that a fallacy right inaccurate gote misleading notion ho ba inaccurate facts ho or invalid reasoning ho आ माध्यम रे जो contradiction आसे incorrect response आसे ताको हमें normally fallacy बोली कहउछे right in some apparently logical transitions that people think can be done but that really cannot be done it is like an error in thinking भूल करो माने funny things आसे as a teacher you have to identify what type of general fallacies students have normally mistakes karanti as a teacher you should know it then you can find the ways that help the children to avoid these fallacy or mistakes one such fact we cannot divide a number by zero right a got a fallacy we cannot divide by number a zero very often we forget to apply this fact which leads to fallacy let us take the following example को टिके नजर पकेलो a equal to the let us took at the following solutions. Following A equal to B. So A multiply kale asila A equal to mana kara let A equal to B. So A square equal to AB. Puni again you add here A square, A square plus AB. By adding A square, you will get 2A square equal to A square plus AB. Naki? Simplifying LHS. It is asila 2A square minus 2AB एठी minus करागला एपटे minus 2AB पुनी again करागला right एठी असला 2A square minus 2AB equal to A square minus AB तापर एठी 2 common हे गला A square minus AB equal to A square minus AB वर्तमान ए दिटा cancel हे गला कला को एठी कहले 2 equal to 1 taking 2 common in LHS नै केति की तापर dividing by A square minus AB on both side you will get 2 equal to 1 ये जो जिनस पाउछ एटा केते दूर सत्य केते दूर ठीक आर्गुमेंट से जिनस को तुमे जज करबो ए केस रा क्वा जे फालासी राइट वी नो 2 2 is different number than 1 2 cannot be equal to 1 and so the quantity equality is not possible okay somewhere our argument has been invalid कोड ना कोटी भूल निश्चित हेछि कोटी भूल हेछि look at the last step right एट लास्ट स्टेप को देखो last step unknowingly we have divided by 0 unknowingly we have divided by 0 how look at A square minus AB this expression is equal to 0 whether A and B may be whether A and B may be because we started with A equal to B एठी नै चे आरंभ रो कोन A equal to B जदि A equal to B होची this term will be 0 right so which gives A square equal to AB if A equal to B then A square equal to AB so these two terms are equal so this will be 0 नै कि so when multiplied by A then A square minus AB equal to 0 बुझि परछ ना नै तो ये टर्म को पढ़ा देखो ये जो जिनस कहूचे एक्चुअली एठी हमें ए जिनस जदियो पाउचे this is a common mistakes that normally students commit okay because we assume A equal to B then ए जगह रे कोन होचे equal to B हला को this term will be 0 नै कि किंतु हमें ताको ओवरटेक करके अलगा प्रकार आर्गुमेंट रे हमें आगे चलुचे which is considered as a fallacy right तनो एमती fallacy mistakes normally mathematics रे एही थाय बोली से दर्शाउची okay so this is some operations and the different aspects associated with the proving of mathematical concept different terms would be explain करछि एठी generalization कोन fallacy कोन conjecture कोन right and like this तापर देखो creative thinking in mathematics creative thinking माने कोन thinking भिन्न प्रकार अछि convergent अछि divergent thought अछि नै कि and this creative thinking is a very कोन your cognitive abilities right very cognitive ability intellectual abilities thought may be your thinking may be your convergent or it may be your divergent right when all thought process are centered towards a particular point solution of a particular problem that is known as convergent when thought process is directed to in different ways in different directions this is known as a divergent thought right and this divergent thought actually facilitate for creative thinking so creative thinking is a high cognitive powers okay that the mind can create something new the mind can express a varieties of things right think in a different directions different aspects we can we can think in different perspectives of the same things right your answers are not focused not concentrating or pointing towards a particular thing rather you can think in different ways that is known as a very creative thinkings okay usually mathematics teachers ask questions that have only one correct answer normally we know the questions have one correct answers but the questions some questions may not have only one correct answer there may be a number of answers so the creative child is who can give the number of answers number of perspectives varieties of perspectives so how do students arrive at the answers Here the children utilize their past experiences thinking that our same process will work for the questions raised by the teachers. Without any difficulty, students will succeed in finding the answer. In mathematics, the thinking that helps the students to tackle problem solving one correct answer is termed inductive thinking. ताको जे inductive thinking तो गोटे correct answer प्रति आमे चिंता करू. Okay. So you would agree that the convergent thinking, convergent thinking doesn't help the children much to develop their cognitive ability. Convergent thinking means you must think in one direction, so one aspect, not other aspect. You are just focusing on a single answers, right? So when you want more answers, when you think in different ways, right? So that divergent qualities can expand your mind, right? You can develop your develop your high cognitive abilities. So in this way, we are restricted the thinking style of the children's. So being teacher, instead of limiting their thinking, we should organize situations that help the children to think in a multiple ways. Which personal? This should help the children in divergent thinking. The opposite of convergent thinking is actually the divergent thinking. So as a teacher, so you must encourage students to think in different ways, right? So there should not be any rigidity in thinking. There should be fluencies. There should be flexibility, originality, appropriateness, divergent thinking. These are the different components of our creative abilities. ଯାହାକୁ divergent thinking ବୋଲି କହୁଛେ. Engagement with different possibilities, not just one possibility, one path. Fluency, able to decide the mathematical process to be followed as quickly. Fluency means କେତେ quickly, କେତେ early, କେତେ କମ ସମୟରେ ତୁମେ different idea indicate କରିପାରୁଛ, express କରି, that is your fluency. Flexibility means change in your process without bogged down, right? You can change your process. Change your process. You can think in a multiple ways. Don't stick to one things like this. That is known as flexibility, right? Originality means to think independently, not just repeat the steps shown by others, not following a pattern, not following what others says. Rather, you must think in an independent ways to give some newness, new ideas, right? And that should be appropriateness. Follow a path which follow a path which match the conditions that the problem and not just follow any steps or hope to fit somehow for the problems. Okay, so this is the characteristic of your divergent thinking. जब you एठी किछि points तुमरो देछि, right? So below are the few methods that you can think in order to inculcate the skills of creative thinking. So as a teacher, how can you develop creative thinking among the students? So these are the different strategy, different points you can adopt to encourage, foster, right, the divergent thinking among the students, right? ଯେମିତିକି do reward the students who come up with an innovative ideas. If a child is giving certain innovative ideas, new ideas, so that idea should be immediately rewarded. Okay, develop the quality of persistence. Do not get bored of while solving the problem. Develop a risk-taking ability and engage students in creative activity. Avoid rigid and fixed pattern of problem solving. Same pattern, rigid pattern में move न करके alternative ways कौन अच्छी ताको मध्य encourage करिवा दरकार. Right? So promote interactions with the teachers among the peers, right? Facilitating conversations, right? Think in different ways. These are the different situation, different strategy that a teacher can adopt to develop creative thinking among the students. ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ନା ନାଇଁ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ,
Yes, sir.
ଓକେ, ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଦେଇଛି. What is the similarity expressions? What is the similarity in the expression 5x square 70y square? Can you enlist the point and provide evidence from this argument? ଏଠି କହିଛି what is the similarity in the expression ଭିତରେ କ'ଣ similarities ଅଛି, right? ସେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମକୁ କେମିତି ସିଏ କ'ଣ ଏଠି ତାର କନକ୍ଲୁଜନ ଦେଇଛି ଦେଖ. ଗୋଟାଏ ଜିନିଷ ତମେ ଜାଣିପାରୁନଥିବ କିନ୍ତୁ କେତେ ଆନ୍ସର ଆ ଦେହରେ ଆସିପାରୁଛୁ. Some of the answers given by the students are given below. Both are polynomials, right? Both contain whole numbers. both have constants केते दिन से ऑब्जर्वेशन आम कर किंतु एतिक दिन को समस्ते सब पिला ऑब्जर्व करि परिबे नाही 5x² = 17y³ एतिक दिन गोटे दिटा पॉइंट कहबे आ कहि परिबेनी किंतु एठी देखो केते दिन से लिखिछि बोथ द कांस्टेंट्स आर फैक्टर्स ऑफ 5 5 एठी हला 70 सिमिलरिटी कोछि माने 5 टा मध्य जे ओटा फैक्टर्स ना कि 5 both have a constant factor that is 5 ये 5 रे डिवाइड हे परिबो ये डिवाइड हे परिबो both involve exponent एटी पावर अछि एटी पावर अछि हैला both have coefficient r coefficient अछि r coefficient अछि देखलो 3 3 6 टा 6 आंसर से जगह रे हमरा आसी करूछि भाबो this is the creative answers so teachers should facilitate students in such a way so that they can give the multiple answers okay different examples देखि तुमको आराम से बुझेछि so this is about your first unit तापर देखो ये हला तुमरो कोन aims and objectives of teaching learning mathematics गोटे मिनट वेट कर ओके हेलो अच्छा तो
yes sir
ओके देखो एटी तुमर अछि एम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ टीचिंग लर्निंग मैथमेटिक्स normally when you are teaching a mathematics right math or any subject right this subject or lesson has certain associated with certain aims and objectives okay तेणु एटी तुमे डिफरेंस करि परिबो एम्स आउ ऑब्जेक्टिव्स भितरे एटी देछि एम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स एम्स कोन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स कोन mathematical minds of children देछि enhancing reasoning power and visualization developing problem solving skill developing critical thinking integration of mathematics with the other subject ये गोटा भलो क्वेश्चन जहा को जे कोरिलेशन हला correlations of mathematics with कोन other subject physics हो chemistry हो mathematics geometry हो जहा भी होना कांकिया biology geology सब संगे mathematics रे relationship integration of mathematics एटा गोटा भलो क्वेश्चंस मन रखिबो आ एम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ टीचिंग मैथमेटिक्स ये गोटा क्वेश्चंस ओके वर्तमान देखो एम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ देछि अच्छा एठी आ पूर्व तुम एठी चिंता करो एम्स कौन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स कौन एम्स कहले गोटे कौन गोटे होची जनरल गोल्स एम्स ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आर वेरी समथिंग दैट यू वांट टू अचीव राइट by teaching different subject. This is your subject, for example you are teaching mathematics, so this mathematics has associated with certain goals or aims, right? Aims are very general in nature, it is known as very general in nature, very common in nature. It is a very कौन कहिपारे long term goals, right? We may achieve it or we may not achieve it. These aims are very general in nature and associated with the subject, that the particular subject. Okay, so the whole educational system has certain goals. The different subject, physics, chemistry, mathematics, has certain goals. So when we are saying these goals, this is known as the aims, which are very general, very common, and very long-term goal. It takes long time to achieve. Okay, so in order to achieve this aims, you have different schooling system, you have different subject, or you have different, you may teach a lesson. Okay, in mathematics, suppose you are teaching factorizations, so this factorizations is a part of mathematics. Mathematics is associated with the goals, but there are also certain goals associated with the lesson factorizations. Okay, so these small goals, very immediate goals, are known as your objectives. Okay, so objectives are very very short term goals that can be very well easily achieved, and it can be very well achieved, and it can be measured. It can be demonstrated by the students in the classroom situations. Okay, so objectives are the very very short term goals. This is long term goal, but it is known as very short term goal. We can easily achieve these objectives. By these objectives is actually derived from the goals, derived from the aim, and objective shows direction towards the aim. Okay, so objective shows direction, objective shows the path where we can move. Okay, and this objective is associated with teaching a particular lessons. Okay, so এই সেন্সরে আমি তাকে বুঝু নর্মালি গোটে টর্ম ইউজ করা যায় কোন না ইনস্ট্রকশনাল objectives will kuhajaye. So instructional objectives are the change in behavior that we expect from our students after providing instructions, right? एठी हमें किछि instruction पिला को दउछे आको पढेबा द्वारा कोन पिला मानक भितरे चेंजेस आसीबो, राइट? जो चेंजेस आसीबो हम ताके एक्सपेक्ट करछे ताको हमें एक्सपेक्टेड लर्निंग आउटकम्स बोली कहउछे. एई चेंजेस ता तुमरो कोन कॉग्निटिव एस्पेक्ट रे आसे, मेंटल एस्पेक्ट रे आसे, तुमरो अफेक्टिव डोमेन रे आसे, तुमरो साइकोमोटर डोमेन रे आसे, जोटी आम पढ़ा कौन ना ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी गोटे आसे. ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी रे कॉग्निटिव डोमेन रे नॉलेज डेवलपमेंट हम अंडरस्टैंडिंग एप्लीकेशन, राइट? डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स रे डेवलपमेंट हुए. तेणु ये कॉन्सेप्ट आम यूज करूँ इंस्ट्रक्शनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, राइट? सो एवरी लेसन्स, एवरी टीचिंग, एवरी सब्जेक्ट इज एसोसिएटेड विथ सर्टन कौन गोल्स एंड सर्टन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. ओके, goals are very general in nature. So in this context, the aims of teaching mathematics means why you are going to teach mathematics, what are the long-term benefit of learning mathematics to the students. Okay, so this NCERT, actually we can conclude that aims is more broad, more comprehensive and general in nature, while objectives are the means to achieve the goals. Okay, through achieving the different objectives, we will able to achieve the aims. We may achieve or may not achieve. Okay, then we goals of mathematics in education किछि देछि long term जदि कहूचे तुम एठी ऑब्जर्व कला गोटे हला यूटिलिटेरियन बा प्रैक्टिकल एम्स, राइट? मैथमेटिक्स एज ए प्रैक्टिकल एम्स डे टू डे लाइफ रे, डेली लाइफ रे आमे mathematical concept, size, shape, multiplication, additions, right? Day to day life, each and every steps we are using it. This is an utilitarian values, in future utilitarian, or we use it in our day-to-day practice. Therefore, it is a practical aims. Okay, disciplinary in the sense mathematics being a discipline having its own nature and structure. Okay, its teaching aims to develop the characteristics such as it can discipline in the sense it can discipline our mind. It develops the accuracy, honesty, reasoning, problem solving skills, truthfulness, patience, right? So because mathematics is a very scientific subject, it is based on accuracy. It is very far away from the subjectivity. You cannot say anything by your own. Everything has certain evidence, proof, observation, verifications. These are the basic characteristic of all mathematical subjects. Okay, that's why you believe on the truth. Huh? You must develop patience. You must develop problem solving skills. You must approach certain problem in a very systematic ways. You believe in the accuracy. So that qualities can discipline your mind. So mathematics has a disciplinary aims. Similarly, it has a cultural aim. Okay, cultural aims. Our culture, our civilization, our society has a close relationship with mathematics. Mathematics has considered to be contributed during the developmental stages of various disciplines like science, engineering, medicines, music, art, right? ସବୁତକ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟରେ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ୍ ରହୁଛି those cultural values of mathematics need to be preserved and attained through teaching mathematics. So our cultural values can be preserved by teaching mathematics. So mathematics has a culture, right? It develop our cultures, develop the different development in different field in science, in engineering, in medicines like this that has its cultural implications. So mathematics is a part of that. Okay, vocational aim in the sense you can use mathematics to earn something, to live your life, to be independent, to it can fulfill the vocational aims of educations. Okay, so individual to develop the skilled persons and to grow independently to earn the livelihood. Okay, mathematics subject को लेके हमर livelihood earning करी परिबा. Thus vocational aim of mathematics pertain to develop individual to take up specialized vocations, right? Having application in mathematics, so engineering, accounting, banking, ये सब तक subject हो जो ଗୋଟେ vocational subject, and mathematics is a part of it. So it has its vocational aim. Okay. Social aims and ଦେଇଛି mathematics and society has also related like culture ଯେମିତି related. Mathematics being extensively employed in planning development of program of the society. For example, while constructing a road କହୁଛେ, bridge କହୁଛେ, the concept like measurement, time ନୁହଁ ଏଗୁଡ଼ିକ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ୟୁଜ୍ ହୁଏ social development ପାଇଁ mathematics ଦରକାର. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି moral development, moral aims କହୁଛି ଯେ right wrong development କରିବାର capacity, right? Like patience, self effort ଏଗୁଡ଼ିକ ସବୁ ଦରକାର. Skills like your patience, self effort, etc. grown through the children's. Children are engaged in mathematics learning, say for example problem solving situation, different moral values knowing develop in them. ମାନେ moral କହିଲେ କ'ଣ କୋଉଟା right କୋଉଟା wrong, because mathematics believes in the truth, in the proof, in the logic. ତେଣୁ ଯିଏ ଏଇଭଳିଆ logical mind ହବ ମାନେ ସେ ସବୁବେଳେ righteous କୁ ବେଶୀ accept କରିବ, wrong notion କୁ reject କରିବ. So that indirectly create the moral aspect of a child. ତାକୁ ହେଉଛି moral aim ହେଲା. ତାପରେ ଦେଖ ଏଠି objectives of teaching mathematics. Objectives କହିଲେ very specifically ଆମେ ନଉଛେ objectives ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ subject କୁ ନିଆଯାଏ. More objectives are very more clear, more achievable. Objectives ଆମେ easily achieve କରିପାରିବା. Workable units called objectives. Objectives are definite, clear, narrow, specific and can be attained in a short durations. Okay, there are two types of objectives teaching. ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା general, ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା specific. General କୁ normally passive sense ରେ ଲେଖା ଯାଏ, broad sense ରେ ଲେଖା ଯାଏ, କିନ୍ତୁ ତୁମର specific କୁ very particularly ଲେଖା ଯାଏ. The following are the general objectives of teaching mathematics at the secondary level. ଦେଖ ଯଦି secondary level ରେ mathematics ପଢୁଛନ୍ତି general objectives କ'ଣ ଲେଖିପାରିବା? Acquire knowledge. They will develop acquire knowledge about facts, concept, theory, law, principle, proof of mathematics. Develop the ability to communicate mathematical ideas with precision and accuracy. रे mathematical idea को explain करी परिबे. Okay, develop interest and positive attitude towards mathematics. Apply mathematical knowledge to real life problems. Solve real life problem. Develop the skills to use algorithm in problem solving. Appreciate the contribution of mathematics. Develop mastery of algebraic skill, drawing skill, deductive interpretation, finding pattern, making connection, analyze, organize data, like reasoning, critical thinking, ये सब ability develop करे दे पारिबा. Okay. Acquire general objectives. Specific objectives are short term, immediate goal or purpose that may be achieved through the classroom instructional process गोटे पाठ पढ़ाऊँ जदि immediately को जिनस पिला अचीव करें ताको कहे एजुकेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव और इंस्ट्रक्शनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ये ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को नॉर्मली बिहेवियरल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स बोली कहा जाए behavioral objectives in the sense the behavioral objectives are those objectives that written in behavioral terms. It explains the change in the state of behavior of an individual by completion of the learning activity. What sort of change they can develop? जितेबाला चेंज कथा आसे आम सब चेंज को कॉग्निटिव डोमेन जदि नौचे ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी कथा आसीबो जाको ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स से हम आनु एई टैक्सोनॉमी डिफाइन करछि तुमरो तीनटा डोमेन एक रहला कोन कॉग्निटिव दुई रहला अफेक्टिव तीन रहला साइकोमोटर डोमेन आक कहा जाए नोइंग डोमेन आक कहा जाए फीलिंग्स डोमेन आक कहा जाए फीलिंग्स आक कहा जाए कोन ना डूइंग एटा हला तुमरो नोइंग ओके ए नोइंग रे ब्लूम्स रे जदि आसी प्रथम नॉलेज मींस पिला जानिबे दे विल डेवलप द नॉलेज अबाउट द फैक्ट अबाउट द लॉज अबाउट द फार्मूला comprehension means understanding of the concept they can differentiate between a quadrilateral and a parallelogram they can differentiate between a circle and a polygon right like this application means use of knowledge in day to day life jaku application ability analysis means separation kariba separation kariba break down the whole into different parts to identify the parts to relate the parts and to understand the whole synthesis कहले बुझिबा summarize करिबा right summarize करिबा conclude करिबा synthesize करिबा ए सेंस रे आसे evaluation related to certain judgment or value systems okay what decisions you can take so blooms tomorrow knowledge comprehension application analysis synthesis evaluation छटा हायरार्की एटा ऊपरटा very easy objectives जेते तळक आसीबो सेटा सेते कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑब्जेक्टिव्स डिफिकल्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव्स तुम पाइ अफेक्टिव रे सेमती रिसीविंग रेस्पोंडिंग वैल्यूइंग ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कैरेक्टराइजिंग एठी जदी साइकोमोटर डोमेन आछो ताले इमिटेशन मैनिपुलेशन प्रिसिशन आर्टिकुलेशन नेचुरलाइजेशन ए सब तक पॉइंट को बधिवे आगु को एक्सप्लेन तुमरो करिछि एबे हम गोटे रिवाइज टैक्सोनॉमी पाउचे एठी देखो एटा तुमरो ओरिजिनल टैक्सोनॉमी थिला नॉलेज कंप्रेहेंशन एप्लीकेशन एनालिसिस इवैल्यूएशन रिवाइज जेतबळे एठी हेछि 2001 रे नॉलेज को तक रिमेंबरिंग को होछि तापरे कंप्रेहेंशन को अंडरस्टैंडिंग को हला एप्लीकेशन को अप्लाई बोली लिखा गला एनालिसिस को एनालाइज बोली लिखा गला आउ सिंथेसिस टा गोटे क्रिएट बोली लिखा हेछि इवैल्यूएशन टा को इवैल्यूएट बोली लिखा हेछि एंड दिस इज रिटन इन वेरी action verbs action oriented term रे immediate action oriented भाबरे लिखा हेछि but it is very कोन passive sense रे थिला हैला तनो एटा हला ओरिजिनल एटा हला तारो रिवाइज्ड टैक्सोनॉमी बोली ताको कहा जाय राइट सो व्हाइल राइटिंग इंस्ट्रक्शनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आमे एबेली भाबरे आमे लेखु ओके तो एठी तुम बुझेछि कॉग्निटिव डोमेन कोन ना नॉलेज डोमेन ता अंडर रे कोन सब आछि ना पिला रिमेंबर करिवे recall karibe they will say they will define they will memorize right recalling the definition of rectangle formula for finding areas of the mane based on your knowledge they will just simply memorize it works under kono memory forgetting level understanding asla got higher level ko ase जोटि कोरिलेट करिबा कनेक्ट करिबा एक्सप्लेन करिबा नरेट करिबा न ए सब दिन से आसे describing the methods of calculating area of rectangle this is an instructional objectives under understanding domain apply re just apply kare applying knowledge of calculating area of rectangle to find the area of own house of the learners mane knowledge ko apply kari pauchati analyze kala ko identify the cause of splitting the following figure into different parts for calculating total area gote देछि एमती देछि आकु एरिया बाहर करे गले केमती से कोन ताको सेपरेट करि पाउछन्ती एरिया काढुछन्ती नो कि ए जो प्रोसेस कहू ता कह जाय एनालिसिस नै त ए डिफरेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव्स रे तुमरो इवैल्यूएटर कोन जस्टिफाई करिवा हां द नीड ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्टिंग रूम्स इन ए रेक्टेंगुलर शेप जदि रेक्टेंगुलर शेप करछो तार जस्टिफिकेशन कोन दियो माने इवैल्यूएटिंग द आईडिया जा कहूचे evaluations right learners ability to formulate hypothesis critique judge a material situation method against the standard which may be internal or external. Evaluation is the most complex and mental process belonging to cognitive domain. Okay, create ହେଲା ବେଳକୁ ତିଆରି କରିବା, making a rectangular shape house using thermocol sheet, right? That is your creating domains, right? So normally ଆମେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛେ ନା basically when we are teaching we are using this କ'ଣ cognitive domains. We are giving very less importance on the affective domain. तथापि affective domain receiving responding receive कहले तमे केते पिला receive करछंती केते respond करछंती value कहले केते internalize करछंती the values of the things attached to the object, right? ए सेंस रे करा जाउची organizations of idea, internalizing values, psychomotor normally हमरो कोन skill domain आसे तादर imitation गोटे आसे lowest level of psychomotor. At the individual observe the actions are practiced, repeated, simulated at her mental level. Later the individual perform those actions but with less precision, constructing a rectangle by matchsticks. माने imitation कला को just follow करियो केमति करा जाय ताको मन रखिबा रिटेन करिबा, राइट? तापर से बुली भाबर तुमरो imitation, manipulation, articulation, precision, naturalizations ए सब को साइकोमोटर डोमेन रे आसे. ता माने कथा हो जेठी जत ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हम लेखुचे ए बडा बिहेवियरल डोमेन को हम जज करके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को लेखा जाई थाए. हला ये हला तुमरो पाठ. तापर एठी देछि मैथमेटाइजेशंस ऑफ माइंड ऑफ द चिल्ड्रंस. एटा पूरा थियोरेटिकल एक्सप्लेन हेछि केमति पिलांकर माइंड को हम मैथमेटिकाइजेशंस करूचे, पिलांक मैथमेटिक्स ओरिएंट करूचे. मैथमेटाइजेशंस एट लेखिछि refers to the act of interpreting and expressing mathematically or the state of being considered or explained mathematically. माने प्रतिटी लैंग्वेज रे प्रतिटी एस्पेक्ट रे डे टू डे लाइफ रे प्रत्येक जिंस को मैथमेटिक्स ओरिएंट करैबा ताको जे मैथमेटाइज्ड करैबा, राइट? जो माने साइंस पिला से सब जिंस को साइंटिफिक वेज रे नियंती, जो माने मैथमेटिक्स बा साइंस पर बिलीव करंती प्रत्येक जिंस को से माने mathematically logical aspect रे नियंती, right? Different persons, you can find a lawyer for example प्रत्येक दिन से आर्गुमेंट देखेबे, जुक्ति देखेबे. जोडा मेडिकल पर्सन कहला से प्रत्येक दिन से मेडिकल टर्म रे एक्सप्लेन करेबे. जहार जो फील्ड रे नॉर्मली मास्टरी थाय जा फिलोसोफर असंते से प्रत्येक दिन से को फिलोसॉफिकल पॉइंट ऊपर करेबे. जे माने लॉजिक रे मास्टरी अछि से माने प्रत्येक दिन से लॉजिक देखेबे, नै कि? तनो एज स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स द माइंड शुड बी related to mathematics, right? We should train the mind by teaching them mathematics, or their mind should be the mathematics oriented hoje like mathematizations boli koche, right? So it's the act of interpreting and expressing mathematically or a state of being considered or explained mathematically. In other words, mathematization is nothing but converting a given situations in a more specific ways using numbers, symbols, mathematical facts, satisfying the given conditions with the help of the logic. Hela, logic is the backbone towards mathematizations of a given situations. Then what a child को हमें केमिति mathematics oriented करेबा सेही विषय ए टॉपिक रे तुमको एक्सप्लेन करछि. हला जे एक्टिविटी करके देखैछि जे केमिति हमें मैथमेटाइजेशंस पिलांकु ट्रेंड करूचे. एटी से एग्जांपल रो प्रोसेस देछि एवं से बुझैछि. आगु टे पढिले तुमे क्लियर फंडामेंटल्स पाइ जाई पारिबो. तापरे एनहांसमेंट ऑफ रीजनिंग पावर एंड विजुअलाइजेशंस. एटी देखो एटी केमिति तांको हम रीजनिंग पावर बढ़ाइबा एवं विजुअलाइजेशंस बढ़ाइबा से विषय रे देछि. मैथमेटिक्स पथ रीजनिंग अछि न कि? Mathematical reasoning enables the children to arrive at a solutions or a judgment or conclusion after manipulating the facts involved in the problems. So this means mathematical reasoning helps to arrive at a conclusions. So in order to arrive at a conclusions, you should have use your mind in a logical ways, taking some decisions that must be based on certain valid argument, must based on the observations, based on the logic, right? So you can use your observation हो, तुम्हारा logic हो, ने reasoning हो, ठीक है? ए सब को यूज करके यू कैन टेक एनी जजमेंट ठीक है ना नहीं तेणु मैथमेटिकल रीजनिंग एक्चुअली हेल्प करुच्ची टू अराइव एट ए कंक्लूजन और ए सॉल्यूशंस ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम से कथा लिखुची it enables the children to arrive at a solutions or judgment or conclusion after manipulating the facts observing the facts interpreting the facts right organizing the facts to solve the problem children evaluate the situation, select the problem strategy, draw a logical conclusion, develop and describe the solution, recognize how these solutions can be applied नुहे एसबु माध्यम ही आमको डिसीजन नबाकू पड़ी थाए जो तुम गोटे इंडक्टिव लॉजिक आसे एवं गोटे कौन डिडक्टिव लॉजिक आसे इंडक्टिव लॉजिक रे कौन होची ना नोन रु अननोन आड़ को जाउचे कंक्रीट एग्जांपल्स रु कंक्लूजन को जाउचे डिडक्टिव रे तुमे कौन गोटे कंक्लूजन को एक्सेप्ट करके ताकू डिफरेंट कौन सिचुएशन रे अप्लाई करिया को कहा जाए deductive reasoning. So you can use your inductive and deductive reasoning to arrive at a conclusions. So when you draw a conclusion on the basis of observation from experiences, you use the inductive conclusions on the basis of observation from experiences, right? Observation, experiences, example with the conclusion arrive करछि ताकू कहा जाए inductive reasoning or inductive logic. हाँ इंडक्टिव और डिडक्टिव लॉजिक कथा एठी बुझेछि केमिति हम इंडक्टिव डिडक्टिव एग्जांपल्स रो तमरो काढिछि सिंपल इंटरेस्ट फार्मूला केमिति एस आई इक्वल टू पी टी आर बाय 100 केमिति डिराइव हेछि डिफरेंट एग्जांपल्स देखे एग्जांपल ए दिन से पाउछो सेमिति तापर नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल आ गुटे पाउछो प्रत्येक एग्जांपल रो हम कंक्लूजन आसुचे जे सूत्र होछि एस आई इक्वल टू पी टी आर बाय 100 राइट तेणु ये जो कंक्लूजन एठी फाइनली आसीची दैट इज डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम द इंडक्टिव लॉजिक राइट जस्ट बाय ऑब्जर्विंग डिफरेंट सिचुएशन आमे पहुंचे डिडक्टिव रीजनिंग इज एक्जैक्टली ऑपोजिट टू इंडक्टिव रीजनिंग इन व्हिच इंडिविजुअल प्रोसीड्स फ्रॉम जनरल टू पर्टिकुलर फ्रॉम एब्स्ट्रैक्ट टू कंक्रीट फ्रॉम फार्मूला टू एग्जांपल्स फार्मूला टाको देखे दिया जिवो देखे दला परे तुमे करबे जेमति कि फॉर एग्जांपल a plus c plus b equal to 180 degree गोटे ट्रायंगल जना अछि ताल तुमको जदि एमति गोटे चित्र दिया जाउची a b c एठी हला d ए एंगल टा x देछि ए एंगल टा 40 देछि ए एंगल टा 30 देछि देले से पचारिबो x टा केते बाहर करो किबा ए एंगल टा केते काढो न कि तनो ए सेंस रे हम कोन करछि जेहेतु हमको जना अछि तीनटा एंगल दिस नॉलेज कैन बी अप्लाइड इन डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस ये दुईटा एंगल जना আছে तृतीय एंगल यू कैन कैलकुलेट जस्ट बाय यूजिंग दिस इज नोन एज द मेथड ऑफ डिडक्शंस राइट तो एठी गोटे क्लासरूम सिचुएशन रे टीचर कोन कहउछंती पिला कोन कहउछंती ए केमती डिडक्टिव लॉजिक रे से माने कैलकुलेशन करछंती से विषय रे एठी तुमको बुझाइछि ओके एठी देछि विजुअलाइजेशंस is not just the picture or diagram instead it represents the mental image visualization कथा पड़ेनी visualization खाली गोटे चित्र को देखिबा नो फिजिकली rather you must create a mental image mentally you can create the image right image formations जाको हमें कहउछे right माने माइंड रे मैपिंग करैबा माइंड रे विजुअलाइज करैबा without using our sense of seeing or hearing like this you can create an image of something. For example, you can visualize the example in your mind, sorry, elephant in your mind, your school, your parliament like that. But in mathematics, the children develop the mental image of mathematical situations and facts. For example, mental image of a cube. When you are saying cube, you can imagine a cube. A bar graph, you can imagine the bar graph. That is the visualizations. Means just in an abstract ways, you can visualize the things. Right? Tree coil immediately image comes to our mind, right? So different pictures are there, a polygon, a triangle, a square, a rectangles. So mentally you can prove a theorem or you can visualize a picture, you can compare the picture. So normally mathematical pictures, mathematical ideas can be visualized in our mind that is associated with a mental image, right? That is also visualization which is associated with the very abstract ideas, formation of abstract ideas in your mind. That is the concept of your visualizations. Okay. तापरे हाउ टू डेवलप प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स पिलाମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ସମସ୍ୟା ସମାଧାନ କରିବାର ଦକ୍ଷତା କେମିତି ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରିବ टीचर काम कोन एठी से बुझेछि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग इज द प्रोसेस एंड कंप्राइजेस ऑफ ए सीक्वेंस ऑफ स्टेप्स गोटा प्रॉब्लम को एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग माने कोन ह्यूमन बीइंग solve the problems by a systematic approach not by kono trial and errors not by mechanical means but by using a kono systematic steps or approach, right? We can use our knowledge, use our understanding, use our application ability. You follow certain specific steps, certain systematic organized ways in order to solve problems, right? We cannot solve the problems or we are not solving the problem just by trials and errors. We can use our thought process. We can think about the problem. We can think about the solutions. We can collect, gather data regarding the problems. We can analyze the data. We can compare the data or evidence with the proposed hypothesis. We can, right? Then we can reject the hypothesis or accept the hypothesis. Then प्रत्येक problem को हम problem को identify करूँ. Then आमे किसी possibilities को देखूँ. Then किसी evidence को gather करूँ. Evidence को analyze करूँ. Possibility संगरे match करूँ. Then ठीक possibility टाको आमे choose करूँ. Right? এই sense रे प्रकार ways रे आमे कौन करछे ना problem को solve करछे. So किसी steps होची understand, think, try and look back means verify करिवा जे ठीक अछि कि भूल अछि ए स्टेप्स गुड को तुमको बुझेछि केमति हम हमर थॉट प्रोसेस को यूज करके प्रॉब्लम को हमें try करछु look back कहला once you have tried it and found the answer go back to the problems and see it if you have already answered the questions sometimes it is easy to overlook some things if you missed something then check your plan and try the problems again right पुणी रिट्राइव करवा पुराना सिचुएशन को जहाँ तुम पाइछ whether this is ठीक अछि कि भूल अछि okay as a students these steps which can be used to arrive at a specific strategy however selection of strategy is based on the nature of the problem that they are trying to solve some strategies are given below look a pattern draw the diagram and a picture एवढा normally हमें करू while solving any problem make a simpler but similar problem हला वर्क बैकवर्ड्स यूज सर्टेन फॉर्मूला गेस करू बेले बेले एंड चेक करू मेक एंड स्टेट अजम्पशन क्रिएट करू कंसीडर द अल्टरनेटिव स्ट्रेटजीज मॉनिटर द प्रोग्रेस एंड रिवाइज राइट ए बलिया गोटे प्रकार सिस्टमैटिक प्रोसेस यूज करके वी ट्राई टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम्स ओके तो ए सब प्रॉब्लम को केमती करिछि एग्जांपल्स देकी तुमको बुझेछि स्टेप 1 रे अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉब्लम राइट कौन एटी क्वेश्चन से आसुची तार आंसर कौन आसी all questions may not be applicable to all types of problem depending upon the problem students can frame appropriate questions in the above example students can ask the questions such as what is to be found in the problem hela expected answer kono na fixed charge and charge per kilometer for the taxi ଗୋଟେ example ଉପରେ ଦେଇଛି what information is given in the problems ଦେଇଛି taxi charges consist of a fixed charge plus the charge of the distance traveled taxi charges paid for 10 kilometer travel is rupees 105 taxi charge paid for 8 kilometer travel in 85 example are these data given sufficient for arriving the conclusion ना yes तो different questions को frame करके जो example ଦେଇଛି एग्जांपल से बुझे केमती आम प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने करूचे राइट दिस इज एक्चुअली अंडरस्टैंडिंग द प्रॉब्लम फर्स्ट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉब्लम व्हाट इज गिवन इन द प्रॉब्लम्स देन यू कैन थिंक एंड डिवाइस द प्लान स्टेप्स सब देछि राइट सेट स्टेप्स केम देछि कैलकुलेशन करछि एठी देखिबो तार प्रोसेस प्रोसीड्यूर एठी देछि देन कैरी आउट द प्लान हला तापर सॉल्व करछि देखो तापर लुक बैक ताक पुणी वेरीफाई करके तुम देखुच ये देख दी साइडटा सामान अच्छे बेले बेले गोटे गोटे प्रोब्लेम को ठीक अच्छे ना भूल अच्छे आम ताको नॉर्मली वेरीफाई करके पूरा मूल ओरिजिन बेस को आम पड़े जाऊ जानूचे हाँ आमर प्रोब्लेम ठीक अच्छे ओके सो वन वे टू इनकलकेट ए पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स मैथमेटिक्स एंड डेवलप interest in the subject among students is to provide them with the various types of problem help them to solve independently तेणु आम कुछ डेवलप करियारे we can provide the कौन varieties of problems खाली गोटे प्रोब्लेम सॉल्व कले हबनी गोटे जदि आम शिखौचे नंबर ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स देकी आम तंग प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी को शिखै परिबा if we are able to provide problems or tasks that encourage reflection and communication and those are selected from the students real life situation they will take the subject seriously and will appreciate the values of learning mathematics so always try to give problems of their कौन real life situations problems should not be abstract in nature it should not be beyond their range beyond their day to day life experiences the problems should be very close very very connected to their day to day experiences so that they will develop interest in learning mathematics and also develop the skills of solving problems okay से कथा सब देइछि गोटा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व एबिलिटी आउट होला क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग एबिलिटीज क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग माने कोन थिंकिंग इन ए क्रिटिकल वेज माने राइट रॉन्ग देखिबा ड्रॉबैक्स देखिबा लिमिटेशंस देखिबा त माने दीटा अल्टरनेटिव सपोज ए बी सी डी you are selecting C as a right answer so simultaneously you have to reject A and B and D so you must find the fault the positive point the negative point between two ये आम क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम करके देखुचे कोटा राइट कोटा रॉन्ग एटा कहीं ठीक हम से कहीं भूल हम ये डिफरेंस कौन सिमिलरिटीज कौन when you use the nature of skepticism skeptical attitudes asking questions arguing critiquing judging right defending idea ये जो हायर cognitive abilities कहूँ critical thinking right it is defined as a meaningful unbiased decision or judgment based on use of interpretation, analysis, evaluation, inferences, explanation of information as it relates to the evidence applied to the specific discipline. Critical thinking is the way of deciding whether our claim or judgment are true or false. जहाँ तुम्हें judgment नौच, से judgment प्रकृତରେ right or wrong. You have to critically analyze. ये higher, deeper sense of mental cognitive abilities you are using, that means you are very critical in nature. What a child को कहते that person is very critical in the sense he asks questions, right? He asks questions. जे जते questions पचारुछि माने he wants to know and that questioning helps us to develop our knowledge. Real knowledge comes through questioning, right? You can ask questions to anybody, right? Why this happen? How this happen? जदि जने knowledge देखौथबो ता संगरे जदि कन्वर्सेशन करिवो क्वेश्चन पचारिबो से आस्ते आस्ते चुप हे जिवो नै कि त सेही भले पर्सन को आमे को पर्सन इज वेरी क्रिटिकल सब बेले पे जजमेंट लॉजिक ए सब जिंस को आमे देखू we can make reasoned judgment decisions about what we think and do so forming judgment and decision based on one's own experiences and claiming one's own decision true or false with supporting proof is called the critical thinking right what you are accepting that must be supported by the proof okay जड़े जने कहूची तक accept करिया proof तुम प्रमाण खोजो a child who thinks critically will himself or herself ask the following questions when he faces perplexing situations problems may be mathematical problem right question semti aso what is problem how can I find solution to it can I solve it with the information I have if not then what additional information is required can I solve this problem with the same formula as studied in the classroom निजुग निजे पचारिबो if do it like this what would be the answers what other strategies and formula will work here can this problem be solved with a single method or should I use some other method तर ये भलिया क्वेश्चंस निजे निजे को तुमे पचार जदि पचारुच ताहले भाबो you are very critical in natures okay so that is known as a critical natures so today in a constructivistic approach emphasize on the critical pedagogy क्रिटिकल पेडागोजी तुम जानी paulo ferreira जे वर्तमान प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन को वेरी क्रिटिकल पेडागोजी हम यूज करछे मीन्स यू मस्ट आस्क क्वेश्चंस ओके फाइंड द आंसर्स गो फॉर अल्टरनेटिव्स आस्क क्वेश्चंस क्रिटिक जज आर्ग्यू डिफेंड द आइडिया ए भले जतबळे होउचे वी शुड नॉट बी जस्ट passive listeners we should not accept what a teacher says rather we must raise questions in order to if possible you may defend your teacher's idea you may accept idea you may defend idea right like this प्रकार जो ability जो प्रकार attitude normally students कर रुहे ताकि कहा जाए ना critical pedagogy तन classroom situation वर्तमान आम यूज करते constructivistic approach रे ए भया critical pedagogies right ए critical pedagogy ही पिला मानक भितरे critical thinking development करिवो मैथमेटिक्स पाई ही ए भया critical thinking रा आवश्यकता रहउछ राइट आमे जानू से क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग दरकार है तुमरो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग दरकार है तुमरो डाइवर्जेंट थॉट दरकार है तुमरो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी दरकार है नो ए सब गुडी ही मैथमेटिक्स लर्निंग पाई वेरी एसेंशियल राइट तो एठी जो प्रॉब्लम देछि फाइंड एरिया ऑफ द सेक्टर ऑफ अ सर्कल विथ रेडियस 5 सेंटीमीटर व्हिच हैज एन एंगल 40 डिग्री आल्सो फाइंड द एरिया ऑफ द कॉरेस्पोंडिंग मेजर सेक्टर एही प्रॉब्लम ता देछि ए प्रॉब्लम को केमिति हमें सॉल्व करि परिबा क्रिटिकली क्वेश्चंस पसरि परिबा से विषय हमको बुझाइछि हैला एग्जांपल केमिति एक्सप्लेन करि परिबा से एक्सप्लेनेशन देछि आदर पूरा क्रिटिकली क्वेश्चंस आसी कि हेछि एठी से दिन से लिखा है देखो so we can use the following strategy that will help the children in develop critical thinking these are the various strategies बहिरे सब अछि आकोटके देखियो केमिति करि परियो हैं encourage children to attempt the open problems and questions with multiple solutions make children understand what they are supposed to do about the problem make children focus on the type of problem thus they are supposed to solve make children sure that they are working out the problem completely ने सुनो ए सब दिन सब को पिला मानन को हम करै की हमें मोटिवेशन करिबा क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग हे परिबो हला एटा वेरी इजी पार्ट तुम एटी जानि परिबो लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन परीक्षा राशि पारे आसे मध्य जे इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स विथ अदर सब्जेक्ट मैथमेटिक्स संगरे फिजिक्स रे कोन संपर्क तुम एटी जानता v इक्वल टू u प्लस at s इक्वल टू t प्लस हाफ at स्क्वायर p इक्वल टू mvr हाफ कानेट नाकी फोर्स काइनेटिक एनर्जी विभिन्न प्रकार लाइट रेज सब दिन अछि इलेक्ट्रिक करंट प्रत्येक कांसेप्ट को मैथमेटिकली एक्सप्रेस करा जाय थाए सेमति केमिस्ट्री संगरे मैथमेटिक्स रे संपर्क बायोलॉजी संगरे एग्जांपल सकर देछि बायोलॉजी रे मैथमेटिक्स कोट कोट लागोछि मैथमेटिक्स संगरे इंजीनियरिंग रे कोट कोट लागोछि मैथमेटिक्स रे एग्रीकल्चर संगरे कोन सोशल साइंस संगरे कोन नै कि कोरिलेशन ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स विथ अदर सब्जेक्ट मैथमेटिक्स रे साइकोलॉजी संगरे मध्य अछि संपर्क नै कि साइकोलॉजिकल मेजरमेंट आईक्यू मेजरमेंट करछे इंटरेस्ट इन्वेंटरीज यूज करछे डाटा कलेक्शन करछे नै कि सेठी साइकोलॉजी डिफरेंट रिसर्च करछे सेठी डाटा जो आसी से मध्य मैथमेटिक्स रे यूज होछि हां जो डिफरेंट स्केल सब यूज होछि रेटिंग स्केल चेकलिस्ट लाइक दिस ताधर मध्य मैथमेटिकल प्रिंसिपल यूज हेके होछि स्टैटिस्टिकल मेथड यूज करके हम डाटा को एनालाइज करछे ऑर्गेनाइज करछे इंटरप्रेट करछे पिला मानकर साइकोलॉजिकल बिहेवियर को जानिया पय कि एक्सपेरिमेंटल साइकोलॉजी तो पूरा मैथमेटिक्स पर कैलकुलेशन पर बेस कर देछि हां तनो साइकोलॉजी संगरे आर्ट ड्राइंग संगरे मैथर संपर्क जानि परथिबो ड्राइंग ड्राइंग जो करछे फिगर हां कैलकुलेशंस ज्योमेट्रिकल ड्राइंग ए सब तक मैथमेटिक्स रे यूज मैथमेटिक्स रे लैंग्वेज संगर मध्ये संपर्क अछि प्रत्येक मैथमेटिक्स रो गोटे लैंग्वेज अछि बिना लैंग्वेज रे हम मैथमेटिक्स को एक्सप्रेस करि परिबा नाही इक्वेशन को मत लैंग्वेज रे एक्सप्रेस करछे डिफरेंट लॉज को लैंग्वेज रे करछे प्रिंसिपल को लैंग्वेज करछे मीडियम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ मैथमेटिकल फैक्ट्स एम्प्लॉय द यूज ऑफ लैंग्वेज बिना लैंग्वेज रे मैथमेटिक्स परिप्रकाश हेई परिबो नाही language differ from place to place but mathematical ideas remain constant irrespective of language normal language ना differ करे किंतु mathematical language सबुडे प्रायत समान रुहे हला तेनु ए पार्ट रे तुमे पढिबो जे मैथमेटिक्स सब्जेक्ट संगरे विभिन्न सब्जेक्ट रो कोन संपर्क सबु रहिछि हला सरी गला दिस इज ऑल अबाउट योर यूनिट 2 ପଡ଼ିବ। ହ୍ୟାଲୋ।
Yes, sir.
ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ pedagogy mathematics?
Yes, sir.
ବହିରେ ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ଅଛି। ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଟିକେ ଖାଲି ଆଇଡ଼ିଆ ଦେଲି, ତମେ ସେ ଆଇଡ଼ିଆକୁ ନେଇକି ଟିକେ ଆଗକୁ ଯିବ। How children learn mathematics? At ଦେଇଛି children conceptualization mathematics idea. Children learn from experience. Children have their own strategy of learning. Children see mathematics around them. Every child is unique. ଏସବୁ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡ଼ିକର ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲାନେସନ୍ ଦେଇଛି। ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରେସନ୍ ଇନ୍ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକାଲ କନସେପ୍ଟ। ଏଠି ପିଆଜେଟଙ୍କର ଥିଓରି, ବିଗଷ୍ଟଙ୍କର ଥିଓରି, ବ୍ରୁନରଙ୍କର ଆଇଡ଼ିଆ ଦେଇଛି। ଆଉ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ କିଛି ପ୍ରୋସେସ୍, ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ସଲଭିଂ, ପାଟର୍ନିଂ, ରିଜନିଂ, ଅବଷ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ସନ, ଜେନେରାଲାଇଜେସନ, ଆର୍ଗୁମେଣ୍ଟ ଜଷ୍ଟିଫିକେସନ, ଜଷ୍ଟ ଦେଟା ମାନେ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ ଲର୍ନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ କଗ୍ନିଟିଭ ପ୍ରୋସେସ୍ ଅଛି, କେମିତି ଲର୍ନ କରୁଛେ ସେସବୁ ବିଷୟ ଆଧିରେ ତୁମକୁ ଦେଇଛି। ପିଆଜେଟ୍ ଭିଗୋଷ୍ଟି କଥା ତୁମେ ପଢ଼ିଥିବ ସାଇକୋଲୋଜିରେ। ଏଠି ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ। ଏଠି କେମିତି ବଢ଼ିଆ ରକମ ଲେଖିକି ସେ ତାକୁ ବୁଝେଇ ସବୁ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ପଢ଼ିଲେ ତୁମେ ଜାଣିପାରିବ। ଆମର ଅନୁଭୂତି, ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଅନୁଭୂତିରୁ ପିଲାମାନେ ନର୍ମାଲି ଶିଖୁଛନ୍ତି। ସବୁ ବିଷୟ ସେଇଆ। ୟୁନିଭର୍ସାଲ ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ ଇଜ୍ ଆବଷ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କନସେପ୍ଟ, ରାଇଟ୍? That the task of a teacher is to help the students conceptualize abstractness through concrete experiences. ये जो concrete experiences तांकर daily experiences रू हमें आनिबा। If you are not in a position to provide ample opportunity to our students to concrete various concepts in mathematics, they may condemn the subject as boring and difficult. ତେଣୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ପାଇଁ ଆମର ଏନସିଏଫ୍ 2005 କହୁଛି ଆମର ପିଲାଙ୍କର ପାଷ୍ଟ ନୁହଁ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସକୁ ଆମେ ରିଲେଟ୍ କରୁଛେ କାହା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ନା ନ୍ୟୁ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସେସ୍ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଲିଙ୍କ କରୁଛେ। ତେଣୁ ଏ ଲିଙ୍କେଜ ଯଦି ଠିକ୍ ସେ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ନ ହେବ, ପିଲା ପାଠ ବୁଝିପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ, ସେମାନେ ଭାବିବେ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଭେରି ଡିଫିକଲ୍ଟ ଏବଂ ବୋରିଂ, ରାଇଟ୍? ଲେଟ୍ ଅସ୍ ସି ହାଉ ଟୁ ଟିଚର୍ସ ଟଟ୍ ଦ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ nth ଟର୍ମ ଇନ୍ ଆନ୍ ଏରିଥମେଟିକ୍ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରେସନ୍ସ। ଏଫିର nth ଟର୍ମ ଆମେ କେମିତି କାଢୁଛେ ଏଫିର, a ପ୍ଲସ୍ n ମାଇନସ୍ 1 ଇଣ୍ଟୁ d। ତମେ ବି ଜାଣିନଥିବ ଏଇ ଟର୍ମ ଯଦି nth ଟର୍ମ ହେଉଛି ତାହେଲେ ଏଇ ଟର୍ମଟା କେମିତି ତାଙ୍କର ଡେଲି ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସକୁ ନେଇକି ତାକୁ ଟିଚର ଏଠି ବୁଝଉଛନ୍ତି। ଟିଚର ଏ ଜଣେ ବୁଝେଇଛି ଏପଟେ, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଟିଚର ବି ବୋଧେ ସେପଟେ ଥିବ, ଏ ଟିଚର ବି ମଧ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କୁ ବୁଝେଇଛି। ଏଇ ଦି ଜଣଙ୍କ ଟିଚରଙ୍କର ପାଠକୁ ପଢ଼ିବ, ସେ ସେଇ nth ଟର୍ମ ବାହାର କରିବା ପାଇଁ କେମିତି ଜଣେ ଗୋଟେ ଡେ ଟୁ ଡେ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସକୁ ଲଗେଇକି ସିଏ ସେଠି କରେଇଛି। He started teaching discussion of homework of students one by one. He asked students to explain how they did homework and what were the answers, and asked the students who had not done homework. Then he started the class with discussions with the students about what they learned in the earlier class. What is an AP? How an AP can be constructed? He asked the students to write the first 4 terms of AP and another students to write the next 4 terms. This is followed by asking class to find out the 100th term. Some of the students started to find the 100th term. Then he told the class it may take much of time to find 100th term. If you follow this way, can you find another easy way to calculate? So he facilitated discussion through appropriate guiding the students to derive the formula of nth term. The discussion went on like this. Second term is nothing but first term per common difference. Third term होଉଛି second term plus common difference. ହେଲା, fourth term this ଏଭଳିଆ ଭାବରେ ବୁଝେଇକି ସେ ତାକୁ ଏଭଳିଆ ଭାବରେ ବୁଝେଇଛି। ହେଲା, ଏ ଟିଚର ଏଭଳିଆ ବୁଝେଇଛି, ଆଉ କୋଉ ଟିଚର ଆଉ କୋଉ ପ୍ରକାର ବୁଝେଇଛି। ଯାହା ହଉ, a close examination of pedagogical process used by 2 teachers revealed that teacher A has never considered learner as an active partner in the teaching learning process and ignoring the importance of students' own experiences in conceptualizing mathematics knowledge. Teacher B, on other hand, has given more opportunities of students to construct the experience. माने B teacher ठीक भाव रे बुझाई बाझाई पढ़े बोली सी सेठी कहूँ नुह कि तेणु से भाया कथा जे गोटे जिनस को जो पढ़ाऊे आम केमी से डे टू डे लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस को कनेक्ट करके बुझाऊँ से डिपेंड कर गोटे टीचर स्किल्स उपर टीचर इनोवेटिव आइडियाज राइट as a teacher it is our duty to provide such type of activity that gives first-hand experience to the learner and construct mathematical knowledge. So constructivistic approach coach knowledge can be constructed by active participations in the situations. When students are completely engaged in the situation, then they will develop knowledge, they will develop understand, so they can construct the experiences, right? So teachers need to provide the students with a variety of experiences in mathematics classroom, like group discussion हो, problem solving exercise हो, mathematical games, puzzles हो, या माध्यम रे पिलां को engage करे कि learning करे जाई पारिबो, right? तेणु ए जो activity जे हमें करूचे तार merit होउची से मानकर mathematical ability बढ़ेबा, students will be motivated intrinsically, children will show interest in solving mathematical problem. Children will actively participate in mathematical club activities. Children will show positive attitude towards learning. It will boost children confidence in learning, right? So, जदि हम activity courses, so these will be the benefits of learning. Okay. Children have their own strategies for learning. एटी देइछि ଗୋଟେ एग्जांपल देकी बुझेछि चिल्ड्रन से माने तंकर निज वेज रे मध्य अनेक जिंस लर्न करी पारंती ओके ए मल्टीप्लिकेशन को से केमति करछंती तांका प्रोसेस रे से एटी देखाइछंती ये जने गोटे प्रकार करछि ये जने आ गोटे प्रकार करछि ये तरा गोटे प्रकार करछि सो देयर आर डिफरेंट वेज तेतरे चिंता करबा को मेथड टा हम पय एप्रोप्रिएट बा को अप्रोच टा व्हिच मेथड इज करेक्ट एंड व्हाई ना कि ए कथा देछि आ पिला केमति पढिबा मैथमेटिक्स ए विषय रे आ ओके children see mathematics around them right कोड मैथमेटिक्स लागि छि सेठी सब तांका डे टू डे एक्सपीरियंस सेठी से कनेक्ट करिछि आको टिके तमे देखिले जानि परिबो से माने तांका डेली लाइफ रे केमति ये कुछ एवरी चाइल्ड इज यूनिक तुमे जानसबो प्रत्येक चाइल्ड भीतर यूनिकनेस अछि प्रत्येक चाइल्ड रो ओन स्टाइल ऑफ लर्निंग ओन मेमोरी ओन आइडियाज ओन कांसेप्ट ओन पास्ट कल्चरल एक्सपीरियंसेस राइट so with the help of those cultural experiences or their past experiences they try to learn the subject right ए सब कांसेप्ट गुड के एथरे अछि डेवलपिंग प्रोग्रेशंस इन लर्निंग कांसेप्ट पियाजेट थ्योरी ब्रूनर्स थ्योरी एथरे गुड का हमें नेक्स्ट कॉमन क्लास रे पढिबा एटी थाउ आर क्लास काली हमें देखिबा हला आउ दीटा यूनिट एक्चुअली दीटा ब्लॉक में पढिबा आउ आर दीटा ब्लॉक टिके टिके मो जस्ट डिस्कशन करबी लास्ट आर को मैं ऑलरेडी हो ना आज पई क्लास तुमर एतिक रे रुहो तुम एटलिस्ट वेट करिवो मिनिमम टिके लेट मोर हेई पारे 5:15 PM बेल को रेडी थिबो मोर जॉइन कर टिके लेट हेई पारे काना मत काम सारी फेर फेर लेट होउची तनो टिके मैक्सिमम 5:15 ट्राई करी 5 रे अदरवाइज 5:15 बेल को समस्त रह जिवो हला
ओके सर
ओके तेणु जॉन पियाजेट व्यू ब्रूनर्स व्यू आमे कमिंग क्लास रे पढ़ी के आर यूनिट को जीवा ओके ओके थैंक यू वेरी ताऊ हां काम अछि टिके जाउची गुड नाइट
गुड नाइट
Thank you, sir.